friends, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Starting today, I'm going to be starting a back to school series mainly for college students because I myself am a college student, as you guys probably all know. I'm starting this a little late, and by a little late, I mean a lot late because I'm just bad at doing life in general. So yeah, this is definitely late. I know everybody pretty much has already moved into college besides the people that go to my school. So today I'm going to be doing a college advice video. This is primarily for incoming freshmen, but also if you are returning students and you need a couple more tips because your last year didn't go so well, I got your back. So once you decide where you are going to go to school and you get enrolled in that school and everything, this is primarily something you should have been doing all summer, but I wasn't here to give you the tips that you needed at the time. So hopefully it's not too late to do this, but I would say download your school's app. Most schools have an app that you can download and kind of talk to other people who are also going to that school or planning on going to that school. And I did that with my school, and I actually found I found that very useful because then you kind of get to meet other people before you even go to school, and then you kind of already have an idea of who people are. But it's definitely something you could go and do no matter what size school you're going to. I know, I'm not really sure how easy it would be at a big school, but I think it would definitely be a bit easier. I think it makes meeting people a lot easier. I mean, you literally have a phone in your hand that you can talk to anyone in the world at any given moment in time. So, I mean, obviously you haven't met hardly anybody, if anyone at all, in person yet, but before you go to school, it doesn't mean you can't still meet people. As far as dorm shopping goes and getting stuff for your dorm, it's okay to splurge a little bit if you can afford it, because you're going to be living in that tiny little space for the next 9 months. And it's just one of those things that will make it a little bit easier to make your room feel like home. Because obviously you're not going to be wanting to stay in your dorm all the time, because honestly, dorm life is kind of miserable. If you're living in this one teeny room with another person, it's kind of hard to make it feel like home. And this is also most likely the first time you're living with other people outside of your family, the first time you're living away from home, and you want it to feel comfortable, you want it to feel like home. Chances are you will most likely use these things for all 4 years of undergrad anyway. So, it's okay to spend money on things that you're going to be using for several years. I mean, it doesn't have to be super nice things. It can be fairly cheap, things from IKEA or something. Get a mini fridge and microwave if at all possible. It is so inconvenient to not have those things. My friend Haley had to come over and use my microwave all the time to heat up her Easy Mac and ramen, which is something you pretty much live off of during college and your late night studying and whatnot, when the dining halls aren't open. So you will probably want these mini fridge and microwave items, as well as some kitchen utensils. You'll want silverware, you'll want Tupperware, duh, I can think of the word. You'll want those things because in the rare occasions you do go out to eat, you're going to want to keep your leftovers if you have any. And if your school lets you guys take home your leftovers from the dining halls and such, you're gonna want Tupperware to put that in. Or when they have free food for those activities that the school provides, if the school provides free food, you will want to take as much as possible. People might judge you, but for the most part they're just gonna be like,
that's pretty smart to bring Tupperware to these kinds of things when the school buys your food for you. Maybe I should do that the next time. Even
if your dorm does have a kitchen, you're still probably going to want your own appliances, just because chances are going to be no spaces / supplies available, or it's going to be crowded, because everyone uses that space. I mean, it's for the entire dorm. Get an extra bedding set and extra pillows for your dorm room. Even if you do have a twin bed at home, it may seem like a good idea to save money, but it'll be highly inconvenient when you have to go home for breaks and stuff, and you have to try to remember your bedding. that's kind of like something that, you know, at least me, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely wouldn't remember that kind of thing. Like, I don't know, just every time you want to go home, you have to like remember to take your bed apart, especially if your bed is lofted. It's just so inconvenient. As far as storage goes, I cannot stress this enough. Compartments, compartments, compartments. They will be your lifesaver in college. You have this little tiny space to keep all of your stuff in. It's, you know, a typical sized bedroom, but it's going to be a mini kitchen, a bedroom, a study room, a place to store your bathroom stuff all the time. So, you know, I mean, it is all of these rooms combined into one that you also have to share with another person, most likely. So, yeah, you're going to want compartments in order to keep your stuff organized, because even if you're not the most cleanly organized person, it is going to probably be pretty important to keep your room fairly clean in college because A, you're going to be living with somebody else, and not only will that possibly bother them for your room to be messy, but also that'll make them, or it'll stink up the room having two people living there all the time and being dirty. And B, you know, it's just a time saver. You are not going to have that much time in college in all reality. So you're not going to want to spend that rare time that you do have in your room. You're not going to want to spend that digging around for stuff that you're looking for. Along the lines of compartment type stuff, I got like a little storage basket for all of my textbooks to put under either my desk chair or my desk itself. And that helped a lot because it's honestly very difficult to find a place to put your textbooks. They take up a lot of space, like they really do. I tried to put them at the bottom of my closet because, you know, you don't really use that for much. I had some shoes down there and that was about it, so I was like, oh, I have extra room. Why don't I just throw my textbooks in there? Not the brightest idea because then the paperback ones ended up getting like crinkled and they were rentals, so I was like, let's not do that. So, I got this. I'll actually show you guys a little picture. I will insert a picture in here somewhere, just so that you know what I'm talking about. So most likely your first week, maybe just a few days, but more than likely they are going to have things for just the freshmen. My school does a thing where the freshmen move in a week earlier than the upperclassmen. And we had to do like all of these little like activities, which, you know, in all honesty, weren't that great. It was kind of an introvert's worst nightmare, to be quite honest with you. Like, I had to meet so many people in the span of like such a short time that I was like wanting to die. I don't do good with that stuff, you know. That's like, it's like literal like energy suction, just sucks the energy right out of my soul, you know. I mean, not to say I'm like not outgoing and I don't like meeting people, because I love making new friends, I love meeting new people, but it's like when I have to meet that many people in like half an hour, I'm just like, at least go to some. So I know not everything can help, I know that, but you know, I mean, there are certain things that you can go to that do help. They had this one thing on the amnesty policy, which was kind of cheesy but also really funny. They performed like skits for us and stuff. The PAs did, our peer advisors. It helped, all the information that they gave us. And if there are things that, you know, you think maybe would help you meet people or help you adjust to campus life, whatever, I definitely think you should go. You know, don't rule it out and be like, oh, this sounds awful, this sounds lame, like I don't want to do it, whatever. At least go to a few. Even if you don't have to go to all of them, like try to make it to some, because chances are like it's gonna help you get out there at least a little bit. Use your resources. This is something I cannot stress to you enough. One thing I personally struggled with when I got to college was like they tried to like tell you, oh, use your resources, use your resources, use your resources. But it's like, what resources? Like it was like I wasn't informed on like where I could go for certain things. So let's say that you want to change your name in the system. Like, for example, my name is Danielle, but I go by Danny because I don't like my real name. I put that in all of my preferred names for like my applications and stuff for college, and in all of my emails that my school sent to me, it said Danny. But then I was in the system as Danielle. So it's like, do they really not care that I don't like to go by that? Or what? Like, what is this? I hated having to go to class and, they'd say, Danielle, and I'm like, Danny. I wanted to get it changed in the system because I was tired of having to correct literally everybody. But I had no idea where to go. And it's okay to ask around. Let me just say, you probably don't think, that you would want to go up to an upperclassman and ask them questions, but more than likely, they're going to be very, very friendly and hopeful about it most of the time. And if you don't want to just ask any upperclassman, you can always ask an RA. I had no idea where to go for my name change in the system, so I went to my RA. My RA told me exactly where to go. She's like, okay, so go to the registrar's office, which is in the administration building. I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. Well, I ended up emailing this person because I didn't want to go there in person because I was too timid. So I emailed one of the people that I knew was in the registrar's office. Well, it turns out I actually went to the wrong registrar person. They were totally cool about it. They were like, you actually have to go to this person, but he literally just added her in the email, and then she was able to then change my name. Same thing goes, if you don't know where your classes are. Trust me, we have all been in the same boat. I go to a small school, and I still had trouble finding my classes, because most of the time on your schedule, it doesn't say the whole, building's name. It says, the first 3 or 4 letters, and it's, an abbreviation, and it's,
I don't know what this is. I don't know what SCC means. What is this?
In this case, it is totally fine to ask anyone who looks like they know what they're doing. They're not gonna make fun of you, more than likely. I'm so sorry if they do. I'm sorry, I told you to do this. But more than likely, they will definitely help you, because we have all been there, trust me. I'm sure every single person has had trouble finding a class at least once in their college career. Ask an upperclassman. If you go to my school, then always feel free to ask me. I will help you out. Always, if you ever see me around campus, feel free to ask me anything, and definitely try to talk to me, because I love meeting new people and making new friends. Be nice to everybody. You never know what other people are going through. Help someone out if they need it, just be kind. That doesn't go to say that, obviously not everyone's going to be nice to you, but you should still try your best to be nice to them, because you are in college now, you are an adult, that's gonna be how the real world is. There's always gonna be people who are kind of rude or not friendly to you. Just be nice, be the bigger person. This definitely primarily applies to the first week or 2 of school. Understand that the first week, maybe 2 weeks, month max, people are going to be very fake. And that's not to say that's a horrible thing. That's just a natural thing to do. You want to put on your best face when you meet a bunch of new people. You're in a new place, getting a fresh start, you want to make good impressions. So understand that, not everybody is going to be themselves, and be aware that these friends that you make the first week or 2 of school, you'll probably, cling on to, because everybody clings on to friends for the first couple weeks because they don't know anybody, and then, you kind of go your separate ways and make your own friend groups. That's okay. That is normal. Just the way personalities match. It's, not a big deal at all. Just realize that happens, and be aware that the friends that you do make the first couple weeks of school, they may seem like really awesome friends, and they probably are awesome people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will be friends with them for your entire college career. Parties. I didn't ever actually expect to talk about this kind of thing on my channel, but it is something to address because it is the reality of most colleges. Be aware that whether you like it or not, there's most likely going to be parties going on. That's probably going to happen unless you go to a school where it's against the rules. And you can choose, whether to involve yourself or not. Girls especially, be super duper careful. You never know, who you're around. Go out with a group of friends for sure. Group of friends you trust. And, know that at least 1 or 2 of you is going to be the mom of the group and, be responsible and take care of other people just in case anything happens. And make sure that you can keep each other safe. If you can't be aware of your surroundings, make sure another person in your group is. because you don't want anything to happen. Don't take drinks from other people. Don't take sips of drinks that even that other people are drinking, because you still never know. If you are going to drink, have your own drink. Keep it with you at all times. Don't set it down. Keep it with you. Hold it like it is like attached to you, because you do not want anybody messing with it. Everybody be careful. Everybody respect each other, and respect boundaries and not be weird and creepy. Roommates can actually be very fun if you get a good one. I know it's kind of a random luck of the draw type of thing most of the time, whether you get to pick your roommate or not, because even if you pick your roommate, chances are you probably don't know them very well yet. It's probably going to be your first time living with people who aren't your family. This was my first time since I was like 6 years old sharing a room. It was something I had to get used to, sharing a room with another person. It is hard to adjust to, because you're taken away from everything that you... Oh my god, there's a fly! Anyways, you were taken away from everything that you've ever known, and it's kind of stripped away, and you're like starting over. And you have to adjust to a new way of life. That's always going to be hard, whether you've shared a room before or not. You're going to be in a new building too. Most likely, freshman dorms are going to be gross and kind of nasty and kind of sketchy to live in, honestly. Make the best of it. I know that's so much easier said than done. Showering is gross when there's mold coming off the walls, but it kind of helps you realize how lucky you are at home to not have mold growing in your shower. So I know it's gross, but it's only for 1 year, because more than likely you're going to move into an upper class dorm when you are an upperclassman. And it's going to be a lot easier. You're not going to have gross stuff like that. You're gonna be living in a better dorm, so it's a temporary amount of time. It doesn't seem like it when you have to shower in mold every day, but it's temporary. It's not gonna last forever. As far as roommates go, you are going to get annoyed with each other one time or another. You are going to be together in this tiny little space every day for an entire year. It's bound to happen. So make a roommate agreement early on so that it's not, there's not any gray areas on disagreements and stuff. Most schools require it, but even if your school doesn't require it, I would still recommend having a roommate agreement. That way it is on paper and you guys are very clear on what you want to happen in the room or not happen in the room. If you grew up with supportive parents and you love your parents, definitely try to call them from time to time. Like this is a new experience for them too. You are, whether you're out having the time of your life, like they're still going to miss you. Like this is a new chapter for them too. Be respectful of that aspect for your parents. Like they, it's hard on them too. Even if it's hard on you, it's probably like harder on them in all honesty. So call them. Classes, how exciting, because you didn't pay $50,000 to come here for an education, right? Take your classes seriously. You are paying a lot of money, or at least if you're not, somebody is, whether that's your parents or the government or the school itself. Somebody's paying a lot of money for you to be here. So take it seriously. That's really the main reason you're there, is to go to school and get a degree, hopefully learn some stuff along the way. But, don't just slack off the entire time you're at school. With taking classes seriously also comes, not procrastinating, doing your homework, reading the required readings, and making sure you understand concepts, studying, all of that good stuff. Take the time to study. I know it's not fun. Either waiting until the last minute to study or not studying at all in high school, that's not gonna cut it anymore. I know you've heard that so many times all through your senior year, but trust me, it's very true. Like, you kind of have to study in college. Even if you're the type of person who does fine if you don't study, or at least you think you are, in college you're going to have to review, because there's so much material that you cover before a test. Do the reading that your professors require you to do. I know, a lot of people, especially in high school, would be like, oh, I don't need to do this. Like, I'm still gonna learn it. I'm still gonna pass, all this stuff. which maybe you did in high school, but in college that's probably not the case. You're gonna have like a lot of reading to do, and yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time and it's gonna be super boring and you're probably gonna hate your life for most of it, but it's necessary because, at least from what I found at my school personally, you know, they give you the readings for a reason. Like, you know, maybe they have lectures or class discussions or something, and so you're like, oh, I don't need to do the reading because we'll discuss it in class. We have a discussion tomorrow. That's not really how it works, because at least for my school, most of the time, they'll be like, okay, so does anyone have any questions about the reading? You know, maybe you raise your hand, you ask a question or two, they answer it, but that's like the most discussing that you'll do over the reading. They're going to teach you things that are outside of the readings. You know, it may relate to the readings, but they're not going to straight up discuss the reading that you did. So if you, or didn't do. So I mean, if you don't do the reading, the professor isn't going to tell you what's in the reading. Like, that's something they expect you to have already figured out. And then if you don't read, by the time you get to the test, then there's going to be questions about both the professor's lectures / discussions and the readings. The professors kind of expect you to teach yourself for most of this, you know? If it's in the reading, like, they expect you to do the reading and to understand it. And if you don't understand it, then they expect you to take on the initiative to figure it out. So whether that means going to a tutor, asking a classmate, discussing it with a classmate, or asking the professor yourself when they give you the opportunity to ask questions about the reading, no matter how you do it, the professor is going to expect you to figure these things out on your own. You know, they expect you to teach yourself with the reading that they give you. It's like, here's, you know, your aid, figure it out. That's how they do it. So that is all I can really think of for right now. I'm sure there's probably plenty more, so if you guys want like a part 2, I know by that time everybody will like be in school, so if you want me to just do more tips for like school itself or campus life itself, all of that stuff, let me know in the comments down below and I can totally do a part 2. I'm sure there are plenty of other tips that I can make because college is hard. So, you know, you can never have too many tips or advice, you know. Not that I'm like, I know everything, but I've been through a year of college, so I'd like to say I kind of know what I'm talking about. Not to brag or anything, but this is the first of my back to school series, so be expecting lots of back to school stuff. For me, school still doesn't start for like another 2 weeks, so like I said, be expecting lots of fun back to school videos. I'm actually super excited to go back to school, which I never thought I would say ever. I hated like high school and stuff, but college is super fun. I love it there. It literally feels like my home now, and my friends at this point are literally like another family to me. So I'm ready to go back. I miss my college friends so much, and I'm going to be living with them, so I'm super excited to go back. So be expecting lots of fun videos when I get back to school. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful to at least somebody. I really sincerely hope that. I know how scary going to college and especially being a freshman is. I'm hoping that I can help at least one person who's also scared. And if you are scared, don't be ashamed. Don't be like, why am I so scared? It's normal, trust me. Everybody's scared, whether they show it or not. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!